I did a little more to the LT1. I put the headers on, and what I did was I just put a bolt in there and just started it. I left this bolt out to get the oil dipstick in, because the oil dipstick tube and the header, it's kind of hard to get that in there with this pipe in the way. But anyway, I usually like to use a little bit of RTV right on the end of that lip. There's a lip right there that stops it from going all the way down in the hole. But it pushed right in. Sometimes they don't like to push right in, but you can take a wrench that'll fit just over the pipe that hits the lip and push down on that, you know, kind of like this. Yeah, like that. And push down. That'll help you. If not, you can tap on it with a hammer. Tap on the wrench with a hammer and help, you know, push it down in there. But all right. And then when I get the gaskets, what I'll do is, I had to order gaskets. The gaskets he got with the rebuild kit, it don't have that hole. It has the outside hole, but it don't have the inside hole. Now, sure, I could drill a hole, but those gaskets are crappy. And on an EFA car, we got oxygen sensors down here. You absolutely don't want to have an exhaust leak, because it'll throw your fueling off your O2 sensor if you're in closed loop. So I ordered some of the Percy triple layer gaskets. That's what I like to use on these cars. Those gaskets, they're awesome. All right, so the injectors, they got O-rings on the bottom, O-rings up here. Check your O-rings, make sure they're not dry rotted and cracked, and lube those up, and then you just stick it down on there. Make sure you line your injectors up with your holes, and then you can push it down. And it's just got 4 bolts in each corner to line up there. I still got to set this header up on there. I put the starter on. I think I already went over that. I cleaned up the valve covers really good. Threw a coat of paint on those. I set those over there. We'll put those on here in a minute. And then I put this piece on here. So you put this piece on here, you got to take this off. The power steering pump has to be off. There's 2 bolts that hold that, and you got to line up these holes. There's one there and one there, but you got to put it on without that, and you got to take this off, because you got to get to put that bolt in. There's a bolt right back here, and these bolts go to the block. On equivalent of this side, it would go in this hole and this very bottom hole right there. So that's where this bolt and this bolt over here behind the power steering pump go. And then there's 2 up here that go into the head itself, which would naturally go there. And then the power steering pump, you got one hose that loops around through here and one that goes down through the front. So you got to kind of maneuver that to get the power steering pump in place. And then there, like I said, just 2 bolts there. You got to line the holes up, bolt right there. And then you put your valve covers on, then you put your alternator on. And then really the only thing left to do is to put the wiring harness on it, which I'm going to get the motor on the K-member before I put the wiring harness on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the valve covers on. You got these gaskets over here. They just go down in the grooves. They like to stretch and pop out. You can put a dab of RTV between the valve cover and the gasket to kind of let it dry and hold it on there, but I can usually get them to stay. And then there's just, you know, 4 long bolts, center bolt valve covers. Now the one with the 2 holes, that one goes on the passenger side, and that one goes on the driver's side. Now, a lot of people will say, well, it won't clear the roller rockers. These valve covers will clear roller rockers just fine, even without cutting them. But now, if you want to cut these notches out of here and give yourself more room, just cut them just like that. I didn't have mine cut and they worked fine, but then I did eventually cut them because these are my rocker arms, and you'll see some of them got little scratch marks in them where it was hitting a little bit on some of them, see? But yeah, it wasn't enough to make any noise or anything, but yeah. These Proform's real clear, but they might rub a little. But got dust all over it. But yeah, I'm gonna put those on and put the alternator on and lift the motor up. I'll use one of these and one in the back of the head. And yeah, I'll have to set this one on the ground because I need the flex plate off of it. And there's also some screws in this rear main seal I need because I didn't have all the ones. I think I was missing one screw that went up in here and one bolt. But I gotta set this one on the ground and take these bolts out so I can take the flex plate off. And then when I lift this one up to put it on the cape member, then I'll put the bolt for those, for that rear main seal. See, I was missing a couple of bolts in here. Yeah, down here. But yeah, down there. I'm looking at the wrong spot. These bolts up here, right there and right there. I've got one over there. I was going to go to the parts store and get one. I thought, well, I'll just take it off that motor when I take the flex plate off. So I got to do all that anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to put the valve covers on it. I'm going to put the alternator on it. And I'm going to lift this one up. I'm going to set it on the ground just the way it is. I'll lift it up from where it normally bolted to the motor mounts. I'll just set it on the ground, take the flex plate off, and that one will be ready to get on the cape member. I had to order this seal and it's out of stock, so it's on back order, but I can put the motor in without that. And then I had to order the gaskets, and I had to order an AC delete pulley that goes right there. They got rid of the AC. The AC didn't work on the car. Some of the pipes were broke, so they don't want to put it back on there. But yeah, pretty much it. The next videos will be putting it in the car. Y'all like, subscribe, have a great day.